Another episode of On the Road with the Loan Signing System out here with Bianca, who is in Northern California. Her story is crazy inspiring, like all of these. Let's jump right into this. How are you doing today, Bianca?
I'm doing great. I'm excited for this.
Oh, thank you so much. It's a Sunday for everyone who's watching this right now. So thank you for taking time away from your family to try to inspire the loan signing system family and anybody watching this on YouTube right now. So let me ask you a couple questions here. How much money did you make last month?
Last month I made $10,100.
And this month, how much money have you made so far?
I have made just over $12,000.
And there's only 3 weeks in this month so far, and you've earned $12,000.
Yes.
And so when I say that you've made $12,000 in 1 month, not even 1 month, how does that make you feel?
It's amazing because I've never been in a position to do anything extra with our lives, and we've been able to sit very comfortably and pay off so much debt. And we're on the right track to saving now for our own house.
Oh, congratulations. So awesome. Okay, cool. So your story, honestly, B, I've done 30 some episodes. Your story is as inspiring, if maybe not the most inspiring. So let's just get right into it. I ask every single one of you successful signing agents, why did you choose to become a signing agent?
I started out life and became a young mom, very young age of 15, and always had to provide for my son. And then 3 years later, I added another bundle, and I was a single mom of 2 boys for quite some years without the help of anybody. We were a government-fed family for a while, and I hated it. Struggling to make ends meet all the time. Back to school was difficult, and I always wanted to give my kids a back to school shopping spree and everything that they needed. And we just couldn't do anything extra ever. So it was time to make a change, and I'm really glad I found this.
First off, B, thank you so much for being that vulnerable. I mean, the idea that you were a mom at 15, a mom of 2 at 18, and the fact that you just mentioned that you were a government-fed family, and now you make $12,000 in 1 month.
It was amazing to not need the government assistance anymore.
You're beyond not needing the government assistance. Let me tell you that right now. It's $12,000 in a month. I am so proud of you, B. I hope you know how much I mean that, and I say that. We're going to tell people your journey. This is not an overnight success story. Now, all due fairness, I think getting to $12,000 in 1 month in less than a year is kind of overnight. But we have some students who do that in month number 3, and we've seen the journey of all students. But what I think is really cool about your story, is we're going to dive in deeper in a moment, is that this is a story of perseverance. She emailed me about 3 months into her journey, and it sounded like she was about to throw in the towel and give up. And we're going to talk about that part of her journey. But to start out this, I just want everyone to know how amazing they should be inspired by you. The fact that, you just said that you're a mom of 2 and you had to provide by yourself. And the fact that you didn't give up. You didn't give up on your dreams, your aspirations. You didn't give up on being a signing agent, even though you were getting frustrated. And we're going to talk about that. But, before we dive into your actual income journey, which I'm really excited to get to, I want to go back to the reason how you found becoming a signing agent. So, like you said, you're trying to figure out how to provide, you're trying to figure out, let's dive deeper into why you became a signing agent. So, I mean, were you going job to job? Talk about kind of your work history and how you ended up becoming a signing agent.
I've worked in a multitude of different industries, as far down as fast food, as far as I was working in a group home for teenagers, but it just still wasn't making ends meet. I felt like they were dead-end jobs. I had an associate's degree from college, and I couldn't get anywhere with it, and I wanted to find a journey where I can build myself up, and I can build my own thing and be successful in it. And I wanted to renew my notary commission, started looking at other opportunities to do with it, and that's when I came across some videos of yours and links on Google. Took me 3 days before I finally committed, but I was ready. I took the leap.
I love it. I love you took a leap on yourself. That's the best part. I'm so excited. Your journey's amazing. I mean, now that you like you said, you made $10,000 a month. You made 12,000. You made 12,000 so far to date this month. I mean, your little ones. I mean, how does it feel like they must look up to mom and just be like, oh my gosh, mom, you're crushing it.
They were definitely a big inspiration. Anytime I would say I was heading out for an appointment, good luck, mom. I hope you do great. And then they'd ask me at the end of the day, how much have you made today, mom? How much did you get? You're doing good. And they kept pushing me. And it was a lot easier during those moments of wanting to give up that they were right there. They're watching, and every decision I make, I have to think twice. I'm not making these decisions for just me.
I understand. And I mean, now look at the role model you've become. You're a businesswoman. It's not just you're working for someone else. You own your own flourishing business. I know they're proud of you. I'm proud of you. It's just crazy how quick you've been able to scale this business in such a short amount of time. And everything that's led to you this moment is because what you've experienced. The reason you didn't give in. We have students who will throw in the towel the first sign of discouragement. The fact that your story has made you a phenomenal signing agent, and that is so amazing. Your perseverance. Like, I was sharing with you earlier, I'm a new dad myself, and I'm 42, and I feel like I'm just going out of control sometimes with my 2-year-old. So
Yeah.
I have so much respect for the fact that that your family is your why, that you do everything for your family, and your 2 boys are the reason that you work so hard. And it's just amazing. This story, your journey is absolutely phenomenal. Let me ask you
We
this.
now have a 3-year-old too, so there's 3 of them all together.
This is amazing. I mean, so let's talk about that to other moms, right? So let's kind of segue this conversation into speaking to moms, right? So let's just say there's a mom out there, in general, who has 3 children. I mean, would you be able to say that you can balance being a mom, being a busy signing agent, and a family life? What are some of the things you love about being a signing agent? And talk about that so another mom might get inspired of like, I have 3 kids too, B. So maybe, and they're maybe on the fence of being a signing agent. What would you say to that?
It's definitely helpful having the age group that I have. I have a 12, 9, and 3. So my 12-year-old is very, very helpful in helping keep the other 2 occupied if I'm busy. But it's definitely doable. I mean, I make a schedule, and it's a lot easier than a normal job, because normal jobs, if your kids get sick and they can't go to daycare or school, what else do you have? And if people, live in an area where they don't have family or friends that are close that will help watch them, then you have to call out for work. And it's much easier as a signing agent to just put that out of office on your SnapDocs, or I will switch my voicemail and let people know, I'm currently not working today, or I'll be back in the office on whatever day. And some people will still text me. And if I'm able to work around with dad, and he's able, once he's home, if I can do night signings, I'll go do night signings so he's home with the kids. But it's definitely doable. It's a lot more flexible than most people think.
I love it. I know, to me, it's one of the best jobs because like you said, you have to ask yourself, can I take the day off? Oh, I can't take the day off. Thanks. You know what I mean? Versus having to ask somebody else. And that's the beautiful part of being a signing agent. Like, you're in business for yourself. Like, you're a business owner,
Yes.
and Bianca, you are a successful business woman doing $12,000. Like, wrap your head around that, right? Incredible. I
It's been insane.
Well, let's talk about that insanity. And just for the record, you have such a beautiful smile, and I can't tell you when you watch this,
Thanks.
you're smiling ear to ear the entire time. Like, you found your calling, you found your niche. Let's
Yes.
go.
I tell everyone how much I love doing what I do.
It's the best
I
feeling.
find it exhilarating. You meet a bunch of people, you get to go out to a bunch of areas. I love to drive and listen to music, so that helps.
I love it. So let's talk about your journey, right? So like I said, your journey is so inspiring because, that you almost threw in the towel. Like, I mean, I was sitting there messaging you on the late night, like, let's get it, let's do it. You got this. So let's talk through people, why you were discouraged and how you got through that discouragement. So let's talk about your money journey specifics right now. Uh, you're a planning system student for about 11 months. You're coming up on your year anniversary. So months number 0 through 3, how much money you're making? What did that look like? Give people a picture of what your early journey looked like.
I was still working a full-time job as a retail cashier, and that's when I started doing this whole journey. First couple months I made about 1,300, and then my third month I made 26, and I had cut back my hours at my full-time job to part-time. They weren't thrilled, but they allowed it to happen. And I think by that time I was able to completely quit my job and really put my full effort and energy into this. It was hard because I was working, like I said, the full time, and then I was very rarely home. I was working weekends, I was working 7 days a week, I was doing nighttime calls, early mornings. I was doing anything and everything I could to get my experience in. So when I was ready to quit my full time job, I knew I'd be prepared.
Big. I think you sound like a businesswoman through and through. You put in the work, and now you're getting the results. I'm so freaking proud of you. So first thing I want to inspire some people with, by the way, is you were making $1,300 part time. I mean, we have to understand, like, at the time of this recording, unemployment's at $10 million. I mean, $10 million, 10 million people.
Yes.
At the time of this recording, there's 10 million people laid off. First off, how blessed are we that we're in an industry that actually thrives in a downturn?
Oh, yes. I'm definitely glad I'm in this industry right now.
Right. And but number two, let's inspire people from the fact, because the point I was trying to make of that is everyone should be having side economy, side gigs, side hustles, parts, whatever you call it. So I want to inspire people. You had a full-time job and you're making $1,300 a month.
Yes.
Awesome, right? And you're working nights and weekends doing that?
For a while, yeah. And then it was a lot easier when I cut back my hours at work. I was able to kind of give them a time schedule of open times that I was willing to work and days. I started seeing a pattern of to how many signings were during the day versus nighttime up in our area. So I kind of wanted to work more nights at my full-time job. Well, then it became part-time. And I started picking up more and more signing services. And when I started turning down more money than I was making, that's when I called it quits.
Yeah, it's time to go. Okay, so let's talk about this moment of your discouragement. Like when you were reaching out to me and you're like, Mark, I'm just discouraged. I'm literally remember the word discouraged. I went through some of our messaging before the video, and I was going through the word discouraged, and you're getting down. So let's talk about that, because look, the honest truth is some students, their journeys are like a cannon out of the gate, and then for some students it's not. So I want to inspire the students where there was a signing agent who makes $12,000 a month who almost threw in the towel. So let's inspire those students, B. So let's talk about your discouragement, talk about why you were discouraged, why you almost quit, and then I want to talk about why you didn't quit. So let's talk about the first part. What was some of the discouragement you were feeling, and why were you getting down?
I was getting super stressed out. My printer was having issues with my computer. It wasn't syncing right. It started printing crazy symbols like every time I was trying to print a job, and it was on a time frame. I had to print in between jobs. I'd print on night times, weekends, and I for the life of me could not figure out my stupid printer. It was super stressful. I was ready to throw the thing out the window and just be done. I had made a few mistakes on a couple signing service, missing, one small initial or a date somewhere in the middle of a paragraph for how long they've continuously owned a property for in some affidavit. And it really got me down. I beat myself up far more than I should have. And I did what I needed to do to correct it, but I still felt really down. I had the impression that this company was not going to want to work with me, but I had to come to the realization that I am human. I do make mistakes, and everyone I work with and work for are the same way. We're all human. We are all going to make mistakes and have hiccups in our lives, and we have to just overcome them and fix them in whatever way we can and just be ourselves and do it harder.
Well, let's talk about that. The first thing I want to inspire some people with is, the signing services that you made mistakes on. When you fix a mistake, would they call you again in the future for business?
Oh, yes, continually.
Yes, and that's what I was hoping you're going to say, because that's the truth. It's not
Yeah.
the end of the world, like you just said. You know, some signing agents think, "Oh my gosh, I made a mistake. I'm never going to get called again." Like I teach you, just be accountable, take care of your errors, and move on, and you're going to get repeat business. But I love how you just had a smile ear to ear. You're like, "Yes, they will."
Yeah.
Because they do, they understand you're human. So you know what I want to talk about, inspire a little bit, and I appreciate you being honest that you've made some mistakes. Because look, you know, as great of a teacher as I'd like to think I am, you know, there sometimes you make mistakes. I've missed signatures, I've missed a stamp on a deed of trust. We're human, like you said.
Oh man, those are the worst. I hated those mistakes. Oh.
Happens. But what I want you to talk through real quick is, you know, the self-defeating attitude, the attitude of like, I'm not good enough, the attitude like this business must not be for me, I'm not cut out to be a signing agent. All those thoughts you had, how did you overcome those thoughts to now being $12,000 a month?
I just knew if I quit, I was gonna be left at square one again with nothing, no job, no income. I had invested so much in this for myself and my family that when I finally had calmed down my own attitude, I realized, there is no giving up in this. I invested in this, I made a decision, and I'm going to stick with it. And I realized being a business owner, you're gonna have your ups and downs. You're going to have your struggles, you're going to have your achievements, and I had to find where my support was, and I had to lean on that support to help push me. And my sister is one of my biggest supporters. My fiance is my next one, and he's helped me fix my printer problems before, so he definitely comes in handy with the stress. But when I have a hard day or a rough day, he just tells me, "You're doing great. You'll do amazing. You need to take some time for yourself and relax, unwind, but then go hard at it again." And I just keep pushing, and they help keep me pushing.
I love it, and I'm so proud of you. And you know, so many people would give up, and you didn't, and now look where you're at. Like we've all been there where things aren't going our way. We've all been there saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm
Yeah.
not good enough." And you know, and I appreciate you being honest with us. You know, because you're not the first person to be like, not feeling like they're worthy, or not feeling like I can do this. And so, you know, thank you for talking through the fact that you wanted to give up, and you made those mistakes, and now you did 12,000 bucks in 3 weeks.
It's amazing.
I get so juiced for you students. Like I love it so much. But thank you for inspiring people through that. Okay, so you saw yourself on the other end. You got through this. Everyone supported you, which was amazing. And so now you're month number 3. So let's talk about 3 through 6. And what I want to inspire some people, by the way, with is number 3 through 6 is when you started getting direct business. You stopped working for the signing
Mhm.
services and you work directly, but now you're keeping the full $175. You're keeping the full $150. You're not splitting that with anybody.
No.
And so what makes it inspiring is, as you know, there's students in our group, in our family, who still haven't built up the courage to go direct. So I want to inspire some people that, look, you can be 3 months into the business and you can get direct business, and we all deserve the full fee, right? I mean, no one,
Yeah.
you know, we all deserve $150 for the same work. So let's inspire people 3 through 6. So what did that look like 3 through 6? Talk about how you started your direct business, started kind of floated into your new income stream, and inspire some people.
My very first direct business came from just reaching out to a real estate agent over social media. And I kind of got turned down because she had said that they go through a title company here in town. I had asked for their information. I chickened out and didn't really reach out, but within a week, the same real estate agent hit me up on the social media site and had asked me to do a weekend signing for them. And from that point, that's when I reached out to the escrow officer, got lined up, and then I did my gratitude. I reached out to them, and I continually started getting business through them. And lo and behold, they started referring my name out to other title companies in the area, as well as their First American sister companies out of town that needed something in our area. So that was really awesome to have.
Oh, so I hope every loan signing system student rewatches the past 30 seconds. I teach you how to social media market to escrow officers and lenders and real estate agents. And you literally social media marketed to a realtor, and now that single-handedly got you into First American offices. That's a plural, right? More than one First American office at this point? Yeah, by simply reaching out via social media. And so the point I'm making of that, and why I wanted to say that specifically is, you know, what the best sign of successful people are implementers. You learn something and you implement. The gratitude, the authenticity, like that's what you got to give yourself so much credit for. And I can't take any credit for your amazingness, your tenacity, your ability to actually execute what you learn, because everyone has the same materials, right? Everyone could reach out via social media, but not everybody does, right? And so you took the social media training I gave you and you turned that into numerous First American offices. Like I can't stop getting so excited for you. Like, let's go. It is so awesome. I fully see you having a signing service within the next 12 months. You got to understand, you did 10 grand last month, you did 12 grand this month. Like, this is where the momentum builds, right? And I'm telling you right now, you're going to reach 6 figures because the momentum is building. The referrals are happening, right? It took you 8, 9 months to get to this wave, right? The hockey stick growth is what they call it in the business, right? We all have that. It kind of goes like this and then like this. You're right here. You're hockey sticking, right? When you go from 10 to 12, you're getting it. I'm so proud of you. And I'm so proud that like you just did what you were taught, right? And so many of our students don't, you know? And so I'm so proud.
I was a big chicken. I was a big chicken at first with marketing. I had literally sat in my car outside of an office before, and I chickened out and I drove home. But the following week, I just sat in my car for a few minutes in their office and then brought myself in there and I spoke with them, and it was not as difficult as I thought it was going to be. I'm not a very social person. I've never have been. It was out of my comfort zone, and I just had to take that. I mean, I don't want to be in my comfort zone anymore because I want to be further. I want to be higher up. I want to get myself places with my family. And in order to do that, I had to get out of that comfort zone of what I'm so used to doing.
Yeah,
and
I
it's
hope
definitely
like from where you were messaging me 6 months ago, 9 months ago to what you just told me right now is like, my mind's blown. Your personal growth is incredible. Like, I'm so proud of you, man. Like, successful people know that success is one side outside your comfort zone. Everybody knows that, but not everyone's willing to do that. And so the fact that you have the understanding that for me to get from here to there, I just got to take one step outside that comfort zone. 6 months ago, 9 months ago, you were scared to death of that.
I was.
I'm so proud. So let's talk about that, right? So let's inspire people, because you know what's really cool is, you know, a lot of you students who are 4-figure a month earners, $10,000 or more, you know, you don't come from a sales background. Is that fair?
Yeah, right. I've never had sales, never had any kind of marketing things that I've ever had to do. I don't have real estate background. I knew nothing about the process, nothing about what any of the papers meant, nothing.
And then what I'm trying to inspire somebody with is, you didn't come from a sales background, but yet you're still getting business from a face-to-face. So what made you decide to, like, I need to take a step outside my comfort zone? What pushed you to make that decision? What pushes you every day? Let's talk about that.
Just knowing that I'm going to be in the same place, living in the same, race that I'm in every year. If I continue to do the same thing, it's never going to change unless I change it. I had to do something different. I had to do something above and beyond what I've ever done before. And I had to take that risk on myself to just prove it to myself that I could do it and accomplish it.
There's like 1,000 things you said. Great. First was, you had to take a risk on yourself. You had to bet on yourself. You had to believe in yourself. And that was beautiful. So much. And so many of us don't take that bet, but if there's anyone to bet on, it should be you, right? And so I'm so proud you did that. And the next thing I wanted people to hear is the fact that you realize for things to change, you have to change. You cannot get different results doing the same exact thing. And when that clicks like it has for you, it's off to the races, right? I mean, you did $12,000 in 3 weeks in this month. You're probably going to have a $15,000 month. Like, the end of the month going to be insane. and you're going to clear 15.
It is.
I mean, honestly, I mean, right now you're averaging $4,000 a week. You do that $4,000 next week. I mean, you're going to make $16,000 a month. Did you ever think you'd be able to make $16,000 in 1 month?
No, when I started this journey, I had faith in knowing, I believe I can get to that 10,000 mark, but I didn't think it was going to be within the first year, even 3 years. I thought it was going to take me years to get there, but I was determined to get there. And I was only shooting for 5,000 this month, and it became just twice that in last month. So it was really amazing to be able to reach that. And you can't think about what the doubters are going to say, because I had my own family, unfortunately, I get why they were afraid of me taking the risk and failing and at this business, but they wanted what was best for me. They were scared, and I was too, but I knew who I was. I knew what I was capable of. I knew I could do it. So you can't let those other people, family, friends, people you don't even know, tell you can't do this, because you know what kind of person you are. You know what you're capable of. You know your strengths and weaknesses, and you just have to trust and believe in yourself. Nothing else matters.
I couldn't have said it best. That was beautiful. I'm so proud of you again. I mean, you trusted the system, you worked the system, and then you just did it with a fervor and a relentlessness that has gotten you where you are. And so I hope I said enough, B. I'm so proud of you, man. So proud of you.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. So let's inspire some other people with some real, what a $12,000 signing agent would help them with. So I always ask every single student the same question. What is one piece of advice you give a signing agent right now to help grow their business?
Never give up, despite the struggles, despite the stress. Just don't defeat yourself. You're supposed to be there to build yourself up and to continue to grow. You just have to water yourself. You have to grow yourself and teach yourself what you need to do in the process. Walk yourself through it. Just keep going, keep pushing, don't ever give up. If you feel stressed and overwhelmed, take a day to yourself, chill out, don't do anything, relax, go get a massage, something, but take a moment for yourself. Don't forget to take care of yourself, but definitely give it your all the very next day and just keep trying. Don't let someone tell you no. I mean, if someone's going to tell you no so many times, just take it as you're going to bug them until they get tired of you and they say yes.
I love it.
And then you'll keep going.
No, well, this is the psyche of a $12,000 month signing agent. So I'd like to dig into it a little bit more, if that's okay. Because
Yeah.
Your journey is so inspiring, because this idea of never giving up, right? I mean, you were a mom at 15 and a mom to at 18, and like you've built this resilience that I'm just feeling through this video, which is so inspiring. And so for somebody else, who hears the word no from a realtor, who hears a no from a escrow officer, how are you getting through that? Talk about that journey of getting no's. I mean, look, I would like to tell all you students, you're never going to hear no. It's not true, right? Not everybody takes my course. It doesn't make me think any less of myself, right? And I tell you guys, don't think any less of yourself if you hear a no. So talk about through some of the no's you get out there. How many no's do you have gotten? Because I want to inspire someone else that like you've gone through some no's to get to this 12K mark.
I've gone to between 5 and 10 different like real estate offices. I've gone to about maybe 4 different title companies, and for a while they had told me no, and I kept marketing to them, kept coming in, sending emails, following up, happy Monday, happy Fridays, have a good weekend, little small things. And I finally started getting in because I was that person that was a continuous bug to them, until they decide, let's give her a shot. And when they give me a shot and they realize what I'm capable of and the persistence I have, they start to build that trust with me and feel comfortable with that. But with the no's, it just meant I had to keep trying and push harder and bug them until they said yes.
Bug them till they said yes. That should be an LSS quote. I love it. But it's the truth, right? I mean, persistency beats resistancy. That's what I tell you guys, right? And it's being relentless. And so, like I said, B, I want to give yourself so much credit, because everybody has the same course, everybody has the same materials, but it's your relentlessness and your pursuit of this greatness that is making you where you're at. So I hope people are inspired. Bug them until they say yes. I love it. I love it. And what I like, when I commend you again on, is the fact that you're going in and you're using the script, and through the script you're portraying your skill set, which is so important, right? And so again, I'm just so proud of you implementing everything you've learned.
I definitely have. I never let it stop. I continue to try and watch videos, read the Facebook posts. I scroll a lot. I don't comment as often as I probably should, but I definitely scroll through. I read people's responses. I read people's questions, people's achievements, and it definitely helps motivate me and keep me consistent on my own goals.
I love it. I love it. You're watching all the mentorship videos that I'm doing?
Definitely have a lot of catching up to do with those. There's a lot of them, but yes, I haven't any recently just because of how busy it's been, but I would clean my house and I'd have my headphones on listening to a mentorship video, and I have a whiteboard. My sister would come over and she'd love reading the little quotes that I would get from it.
So I'm just so happy that you're showing, the loan signing system family of like just, staying intact with the group and the ecosystem, and the mentorship videos is what a $12,000 month signing agent does. I love it. This is so inspiring. You have no idea. I love it. Okay, so let's get to the very last question. A lot of people, are looking at this video and saying, okay, Bianca, like, I get it, you're doing great, but I'm just nervous about this. So I know everybody, when they started their journey, was nervous about something, right? So what were you nervous about before you became a signing agent that almost prevented you from doing this and following this industry, and kind of how you overcame that? So what were you nervous about in the beginning?
I was very, very nervous about starting this and failing. Just investing myself so much that if I didn't succeed in it, I was going to be left at the very square bottom with nothing for ourselves, our family. It was in a rocky point in my relationship with my fiance, so it was very unpredictable. And so it was a very scary, scary moment. I didn't have a whole lot of support starting because, like I said, a lot of people, they doubted the success in it. And I feel like that kind of rubbed off on me, the doubt in the success. And that's kind of why I didn't even tell anybody I'd quit my job. And I got to that point that I had quit my job, and I didn't tell anybody until they realized I wasn't going to that job anymore, kind of. And it was definitely hard, but I had to prove it. I had to work really hard for it, and I had to allow myself to believe that failure was not an option.
I love that. I had to believe failure was not an option. It's amazing what we do when our back's against the wall. And I think that was great. I think there's a lot of people who are looking at this scared that they can't do it. They're like, look, I see all these testimonials and these interviews like this one. They're like, oh, I'm glad that Bianca's making $12,000, but there's no way I can. And there's no way I'm going to be able to do this and get my notary commission and pay for the course. And there's no way I'm just going to waste a bunch of money. And the same thoughts that you probably had. And so, how did you just make the decision and overcome those fears?
I just knew if I was going to put this much money into myself, I was going to go full force. There was no backing down. Even in my moments of wanting to throw in the towel, I threw it in for maybe that day. And I knew I was going to get back up the next morning and keep doing it. But for that day, my mentality of it was shot. I couldn't do any more for myself, let alone anyone else that day. So I took a break, but I knew deep down I was never going to give up. This was something I had to make happen. There was no ifs, ands, or buts. There was no way around it. I started to look back at, if I do fail at this, what am I left with? I'm going back to a job that I'm not going to like, working crappy hours with crappy pay and not so great employees and sometimes bosses. I didn't want that. I wanted the freedom for myself and for my family. It's been amazing to be able to attend my kids' school events more so than I ever have been. It's been a financial freedom break, even in the beginning, just seeing the income I could bring in while working full time still, it helped bring me ahead.
If you say, if you can build this business, anyone could build this business.
Pretty much, yeah. If you have the determination for yourself to build yourself and you want to do something better for yourself and grow, then yes, it's definitely not for the lazy people. I mean, lazy people can probably do it, but if you want to grow and change your lifestyle and change your life and feel better about yourself, feel better financially, emotionally, I think it's a great step, and just about anyone can do it.
I love it. I'm going to end with this, my very last question, because you've just been, when you watch this back, you're just going to see how full of emotion and like intensity of it, how much you love this business and how much it's obviously changed your life. So if there was an LSS student watching this right now, 3 months in, discouraged for whatever reason, about to throw in the towel, what would you tell them right now if you're looking at them?
Reach out, find your support, find your reasoning, tell yourself why. Like, why, make your list of why you're doing this. What is the purpose of you wanting to do this business? Why do you want to be successful in it? Lay down the cons. Even if you don't do this, what are the cons of not doing this and working in a crappy situation or anything like that? But just find your really good support system, reach out to any mentors, any other notaries. You, for instance, I mean, I've met a notary in Texas that I've never met her personally, but she had reached out to me from the Facebook group, and we talk on the phone all the time. She sends me messages for help and support when she's feeling down and out. We check in on each other. It's amazing to have. And when you feel down, you know, reach out to those other people that are in the same position and get their side of it, help them to push you. Just keep pushing, stay motivated, and let all of us others motivate you when you feel like you can't motivate yourself.
I love it. I'll end with that. V, you are amazing. Thank you so much for taking time away from your family on a Sunday.
Thank
I know
you.
this story is going to inspire some people in the family, hopefully people on the outside looking in. But like I said, you got to think big to get big. You got to dream big, because if you think normal's all you're ever going to get. I want you to think about having a signing service. I want you to think about making 6 figures at the end of the year. Put that on that whiteboard, 6 figures. You're going to make your $15,000, $16,000 this month. And then every month after that, you want to set these goals until you hit that 6-figure mark. And then I'm going to welcome you to the 6-figure club. Let's go. So
I'm excited.
Thank you again so much. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you.